Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another podcast. I'm here joined today by Gio and Daniel again. Please, if you listen to this podcast, make yourself comfortable, relax, and just listen. Today we're gonna discuss another game. Today's game is Helldivers 2. Very recently released game. I think it was February of this year. And we're gonna talk about it. Well, guys, what was your first impression when you played the game?
Stormtrooper Simulator.
Stormtroopers?
You look like a stormtrooper, to be honest.
Yes. I agree. The space theme, like of course Helldivers, the space.
It's fun.
But I really
Never
like
fails.
the stormtrooper vibe. Yes. I think you can also have like a skin, like exactly like a stormtrooper, and if you like miss a lot of bullets,
It's just stormtrooper.
you're a real stormtrooper. And what did you think, Daniel?
I think that there hasn't been a co-op game that blew up this big in a while, so that's nice. I think it's like unique enough to have a lot of people want to play this.
Yeah,
It's really blowing up, and I enjoy it.
What I noticed is that the game it relies a lot on the multiplayer experience. How does this affect your gameplay? Like how does it feel that it's mostly multiplayer?
Well, because of the different difficulties, you could just do missions alone if you feel like it, but obviously it's more fun if you team up with people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that.
It's okay to play with other people. The community is more than fine enough, but the friendly fire is definitely
It's a problem.
something to consider. It's not a problem. It makes the game more fun, but some people definitely are less help than they are just a problem to the whole team. But that's fine. I enjoy it being multiplayer.
Yeah.
It's fun. There's lots of things that make it worth playing and having fun with random people even.
I experienced when I started out, I was just mostly carried by that one Korean guy and and some Americans, so I just walked behind them. So for starting the game off, it would be nice that you mostly play with people from your level, and then later in the game you play with people of your level again, and then harder missions. So everybody's like on the same kind of level.
Yeah, that's also why there's the difficulties.
Yeah,
Because you won't see high levels playing the low difficulty missions too often.
Right.
There's definitely a slow way to just learn and unlock stuff, and for the enemies to get better too with the higher difficulties.
Yeah. So the enemies, you have two different kind of enemies.
For now, yeah.
For now, okay. Well, the game is still.
Yeah, but the previous game, Helldivers 1, there were 3 different types of enemies, and it's even been hinted that the third enemy faction is gonna release in this game too, because
Okay.
it appeared in the in-game news stuff.
What is the third one?
They're like a highly advanced alien species that does all kinds of teleportation and stuff like that, so probably will be a difficult enemy from what I heard from the first game, but
Space Ninjas.
seems like fun.
Space Ninjas.
Sounds like Space Ninjas.
Would be cool. No, I'm pretty hyped for that new class. I really like it. But for now, the two classes, which one do you like the most?
I think they're both fine. Insects give me a Halo vibe, the alien vibe, and the robots are just, it kind of looks like Star Wars.
A bit of the Terminator vibe going on.
I like both, honestly.
Yeah, I like how there is variation in how they move, how they interact. Of course, the insects, they're more melee, but they also have little reach things. And then the robots, they're mostly shooting. But what I personally like the most is the insects, because you can see them. They're bigger, they're scarier. The robots, they're also really cool, but it's sometimes really hard to spot them because I'm just not that good of a gamer. And at one point I just can't see. I'm just free firing and just trying to look for them.
I could kind of go without being spit on by an insect.
There's definitely big differences between the two. Like, you need different loadouts, you need different ways to approach the game. The insects are more straightforward in that they're just coming at you. You gotta kill them. They might be a bit more overwhelming. And the automatons just take cover, shoot back if
Smarter.
you can. Just if you have the right stuff and you know what you're doing. In my opinion, the automatons are easier because they don't just swarm you constantly with
Yeah, because
hordes of insects.
That
Or
would be
terminids, as they're
assuming we
called.
know what we're doing.
Yeah. At first, the insects were much easier. And when I started knowing how to play the game more, because I'm the one here who's played the most by far,
absolutely.
and got into the higher difficulties, the automatons start to get easier because you know how to get through their armor, how to deal with them. They don't all just run at you, and the insects just gets really oppressive of the way they come at you, which is fun, but they're both very different, which is also a good thing with the amount of variety in the game.
Yes. Well, of course, there's different kinds of ways to deal with different enemies because you have the use of stratagems or utilities. So what do you guys think about the utilities?
Well, it's fun because your ship, your personal ship that you can name to, just drops them down. You can even see it happening from up there, the bombardments, the weapons. And without them, you'd be nothing. You can't do anything. Maybe lower difficulties are fine, but you need your bombardments, which are satisfying as hell.
Yeah, I really
to blow
like
everything up.
I really like the 500 kilograms nuke, or I forgot how it was called, but you just blow up the entire map and you kill every enemy. I also
You kill allies.
Yeah, you kill allies.
Yeah,
Also
if
kill a lot of
the
allies.
boom is big enough, or if they're not aware, or if you're not aware,
Yeah.
then yeah.
Yeah, I think the game mostly embraces chaos. There is so much chaos in the game. Sometimes you don't even know what you're doing, and in the chaos you sometimes forget to see the airstrike or the nuclear bomb that's going down. So sometimes you get struck by teammates.
Yeah, and the whole experience is quite cinematic. Like it feels like you're in a movie sometimes with how it plays out, which is really fun. They really did a good job with just the atmosphere, the weather, the sounds, the bolts from the automatons flying over your head, the
I
range
feel
attacks.
that like every mission, it feels like a movie with the sounds, the music, and the gameplay in itself.
They definitely did a good job of the audio design, just the design in general.
Yes, yeah, I really like the music in the loading screen. It already hypes you up for the game the mission you're going into, and then in game itself, the chaos together with the music, it just blends in very well.
And the whole experience of there being, when you are still in space in your ship, you see all the other players that are doing the same mission, trying to either defend or liberate the same planet, so you really have a feel like you're part of something, doing something, going towards a goal.
Yeah.
And you can see all the ships around you firing their stratagems in real time, and on the planet you can see all the bombardments and the stratagems going down.
Yeah, that's amazing. What stratagem did you like the most, Gio, of what you've seen so far?
I think I like the drone the most.
Yeah,
It's like an extra companion,
Yeah.
which I really like. I also like the laser because it just go brrrr, and
the orbital laser.
everything dies.
It looks for the next objective, you get like a 20 kills.
Yeah, I'd be getting 20 kills with just the laser, not a single
Standing
shot
back
fire.
and chilling. Yeah, without the orbital stuff and some of the backpacks and the bigger weapons, you're just not gonna make it. But it's nice getting carried by them, at least.
Yeah. Well, it is still very hard for me to get the right combination because there is, I think, like 8 different button presses.
It's like a cheat code.
Yeah, the cheat codes you have to do to get the orbital strike, for example, just the stratagems.
Yeah, you have to almost complete the little mini game to drop them, which is fun. The mechanics are definitely interesting. And
It's fun, except when you're in the middle of combat and you mess up and then you just die.
So much chaos.
that makes it more of a in pressure kind of thing. So the pressure is more in there because then you make mistakes.
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
not as easy as a button press.
Really well thought of.
It's really good, but it could be frustrating, I believe.
Yes,
Yeah.
When I first used the stratagems, I was like, why would you add this? This is just so much time wasted on just button presses. It doesn't really give any original things to the gameplay. But then when I saw you play Daniel, I thought like, oh my god, he's so good at the cheat codes.
I'm so good at pressing buttons.
Yeah, he does it so fast.
Those fast fingers.
So if you just train it, learn it well enough, it becomes like these fight and button press cheat code. Okay. So next question was, of course you have different missions. There's, I believe, 250 something missions.
Planets.
Planets.
But not all of them are like at war at the same time.
No,
so there
okay.
maybe one gets taken by enemies. They have to
Okay.
retake it, or one gets attacked. You need to defend it. So there's only like maybe 20 planets at a time where you can go to.
Okay.
But that constantly changes because some get taken by the players or some get taken back by the aliens. So yeah.
But there are a bunch. I think 4 or 5 different kind of missions, objectives, and there is.
Oh yeah, minimum. There's lots of different stuff.
And there is a different kind of terrains. From my experience, it is really cool. The objectives. The objective I liked the most was when you have to defeat one big boss, like one
The
big
Titan.
the wild titan. Yeah, because the big boss, big titan, looks really cool from what I've seen, and it's just something to work on together in multiplayer. What objective did you guys find most intriguing?
In my minimal experience with the game, I like defense. I just like shooting the things.
Yeah. So you just stationary and then try and
Just target practice, to be honest.
When it comes at you, you just ray it down. Okay, and what objective was?
Well, there's 2 main types of missions. The defense ones, like Gio mentioned, where you mostly just have to either hold the point or rescue some civilians, stuff like that, which is purely defense, which is fine, but I prefer the offensive missions more, where you do have some defense stuff going on because you have to stay at an objective, you need to keep people safe, you need to extract where you defend as well.
Yeah.
So they're a bit more dynamic to me, but they are also longer. So if you just want a short mission, you want to blow stuff up, you want to do stuff fast, then a defense mission is just fine, of course.
Explore in the map. Yeah,
That would be me.
For offense, I like that the most, is the explore.
Yeah, and defense missions mostly go the same every time, but the offensive missions, the map is so big, the objectives are always a bit different. It makes every mission different from the one before. So does the planet you're on and the weather that's going on there, of course. But
the weather, the terrain, and the objectives which are the 3 different factors that make most of the game, in my opinion. I really like the terrain. You have, I think, a bunch of different terrains which they keep using on different planets, and one terrain looking like space Vietnam. Really like that one. Also, really great graphics in the game, in my opinion.
You know, I like the terrain, but it kind of just hates me for some reason. I just get stuck for no reason.
Yeah, there's some planets that have lots of bushes going on, and you kind of get stuck in them. One is like a jungle, the other one is just a complete desert. It's really very...
I got resurrected once, and I just sent down, and I got stuck in a rock immediately, so I had to blow myself up to respawn again.
With a grenade.
I couldn't get out.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the one time I saw that.
A few
but,
bugs.
It's always
unfortunate.
me. It's always me.
Of course, it's a relatively new game.
as in terms of... I don't think the developers expected it to blow up in this way, so the servers have had some issues, but they're fixing it. And as for the rest, the game runs really smoothly overall. Every now and then there might be a hiccup, but I'm impressed, to be honest. It's been running just fine. Just some of the online, like joining people every now and then it crashes when you either exit a mission or enter one.
Someone moonwalking.
That was his connection for sure. That's
that
the
was
one time I
connection,
saw
yeah.
it.
Yeah, okay.
Because he was the host.
It might be the connection issue.
Unlucky.
Yeah,
that's
I've
also-
played like 60, 70 missions and it happened once, right when you two were.
It's always me.
Yeah, you're bringing the bad game luck.
Okay. Now about the game lore, there's a lot of democracy being said by the voices in the game.
The voices the voices in your head.
The voice.
Yeah.
The people.
But if you've played the game a bit more or looked into the lore a bit, it's like a bit of a satirical thing going on with because they call it managed democracy, but it's just people that have to fill in a survey and then it gets voted for them. So it's just that, like, in reality, it's just people getting brainwashed, and it's really just a dictatorship that is ruling over all
that is
Earth.
a democracy. Okay. Well,
And if you look at like the news in game and the tips, like everything is about everyone else is bad, only we are good. If enemies want to negotiate with you, don't believe their lies, just shoot them down on sight, stuff like that. So
Propaganda.
you're not really playing the good guys, but everything is hyping you up to just be a Helldiver and blow stuff up. So.
Yeah.
And the actions of players really just make the lore of the game, like taking over a planet and it getting taken back. The developers sometimes have like direct input on like making a mission more difficult when they spawn like stuff in certain ways. They'd like make it a bit more cinematic every now and then,
Yeah.
or decide like they're fighting really hard over this planet. Let's push them back a bit and make it even more of a priority target, stuff like that.
The thing of course it's a shooter, so if you don't like shooters, it's not gonna be great third-person shooters. But besides that, I thought the game was really great, except for if you play it for a long time, it could get repetitive because of course you have the recycling of certain missions and terrain, which you keep appearing. So at one point, I would say it gets repetitive. What do you think, Gio?
Well, if you're already into shooters, you're kind of used to that anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, the longer missions, they always play out differently, so it's always unique in one way or another. I haven't really gotten bored of it too fast.
Compared to any Call of Duty game I played, it's actually more unique. Every Call of Duty game is the same, you shoot people till you win,
No.
and here you actually have different objectives every
Yeah,
time.
of course.
And the team play, the amount of ways you can engage and the different stratagems make everything, and the amount of weapons too. You can do all kinds of different things, to be honest. It doesn't really bore me out too much, and I'm not too big of a shooter guy myself. And I think even if you aren't into shooters, you want to just play with friends or stuff like that, this is definitely worth trying.
I think it's more fun with friends. I don't think I could deal with the randoms,
Yeah.
if I'm honest.
We have to play with the friends. Yeah.
I think friendly fire is also more fun with friends. If you blow your friends up by accident, so funny,
Yeah,
funny.
it's funny.
And if you blow a random up, it's like they will say stuff I won't repeat here.
But
It's a
the
friendly
community overall is quite helpful. They don't really mind. Like every now and then I might leave when my team has been really, really poor the mission
The
before.
one time
but,
you got a headshot right before the extraction point.
yeah. Sometimes you just die and they leave you behind. It happens.
Shame.
And speaking of that, apparently a guy got recorded killing his teammates right in the extraction point and then taken off by himself. And that's a good. It spread out. It gained notice and people started talking about this specific player. And now he's literally part of the in-game lore, and people are actively hunting him when he enters their mission. So that's a fun little.
Development,
little
pretty
thing to
funny,
show
yes.
that the lore gets created by players too, and
Yeah.
it's actually been implemented by the developers into the game, which makes it a lot more engaging too.
Nice interaction, honestly.
Yeah, not for him in the end, because now he's just the most wanted person and
Makes a
trader
new-
in the
has to make a new
whole.
account,
Is he still playing actually? Or?
I don't know, but he's the
Smurf-
most wanted
Smurf
person
man.
by all of Super Earth, it seems.
He's out there. Super.
He's out
Yeah,
there.
Super Earth, managed democracy.
Yeah.
Or when you throw a grenade at a piece of liberty or something like that. Some really bad jokes going on, but it makes it fun.
I don't even know what this means.
Liberty, but a word joke about it being tea, giving them some tea.
Okay. This wraps it up for the podcast of this week. I hope you've enjoyed listening, and I'll see you another time. Goodbye.